Ideal living is leaning in want, not necessity. Grace and peace, everybody. Welcome to Sabbath School Study Group as we endeavor to unpack the first angel's message in Revelation chapter 14. One of the things that we notice about these angels and their approach to us is they're speaking loud. They're calling us out and they're calling us up towards a focus on God. In effect, a God-centered life. So as we go into the second part of this series to understand what that looks like, I felt impressed in the word to recognize that finding a God-centered life is not the means to an end necessarily. It is actually the end. Not just serving God in order to succeed. That's making God a vehicle to a destination. What the Bible really wants us to understand, and God is trying to show us, is that He wants to be not just the destination, but the experience. One way to understand it is living the life that God intended for us. It's to lean on Him. It's to lean towards and lean into Him out of want, not necessity. In other words, not just so that I can get something from God, but just so I can be with Him. Perhaps this verse here in Colossians 3:1-2 will help us understand the ideal living and the expectation and the call of the angels in Revelation 14. If you then be risen with Christ, seek those things which are above, where Christ sitteth on the right hand of God. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. And remember, these angels are approaching. The first one is saying, fear God and give glory to Him. As we look at this idea of leaning on God, not just out of necessity, but desire, Song of Solomon paints this same picture. The picture of this female, this woman who is leaning on her beau or leaning on the man in this relationship that she longs to be with. And he leaning on her because of their desire not to get something from one another, but to be together. So with this in mind, look at the book. It says, who is this that cometh up from the wilderness, leaning upon her beloved? I raised thee up under the apple tree. There thy mother brought thee forth. There she brought thee forth that bare thee. Set me as a seal upon thine heart, as a seal upon thine arm. For love is strong as death. Jealousy is cruel as the grave. The coals thereof are coals of fire, which hath a most vehement flame. Here in Song of Solomon, the relationship that God wants between He and His people is embodied or even symbolized in this relationship, this pursuit between this man and this woman, this godly, pure, and authentically romantic experience is exactly what God is asking from us. It's why He sends not one, not two, but three angels to call. And the first angel is bearing a message of good news, the gospel. And he's trying to say, come on up. God is saying through this angel, come on up. Come to me. Come towards me, not as a means towards an end. I want to be your end. I want to be your desire because you're my desire. You're my joy. You are my beloved. I want to lean on you. Lean on me. This is Psalm now, 84, verses 1-2. To the chief musician upon Gittith, a psalm for the sons of Korah. How amiable are thy tabernacles, O Lord of hosts. My soul longeth, yea, even fainteth for the courts of the Lord. My heart and my flesh crieth out for the living God. Did you catch the intimacy of this desire? It says not just my flesh, but my heart. I'm not just physically dependent on God. I'm not just asking Him to pay my bills. I'm not just asking Him to take care of me, give me money, give me food, give me. I'm actually not just my flesh, but my heart. I am emotionally undone apart from God. I'm not whole. I'm not complete apart from Him. This is the word of the psalmist. It echoes the word between the male and female in Song of Solomon. And as Paul says it there in Colossians, It's God's way of trying to paint all these different pictures to express the same idea. And that is that he wants us to lean on him, not to get from him, but to be with him. And he sends an angel to call us, not just to call us to know he's there, but to be with him in spirit and in truth.